Hey, shalom, shalom. Hey, before I get started, I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakakwadash. Double honors unto my apostles and others of Great Millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere Akim that's out here pushing his word in truth and in all sincerity. Shalom. All right. And I'm back at it again. Um, you know, I had to leave camp. Had camp a few hours ago. Still in the spirit. Had to leave a little early. But I wanted to do this lesson, um, as it's entitled "Grow Up." There's no room for emulations in this walk. And you know, I had a conversation with several brothers today about several different things, and you know, and then as well, I was listening to the apostles and elders um, um, lesson or live stream, and there were they were speaking about the fact of I'm building it, I'm looking up things, and I was speaking. So in the spirit, the Apostle Tahar was speaking about this walk. You this walk is personal. You know, we're here together, but we're here individually together, walking with the Lord. And I'll say in the spirit that the men of the Lord are doing that, and we all pray that we are righteous men in the eyes of the Lord. All right, bear me one second. I'm looking for a precept. Let me see. Hold on, real quick. I'm not gonna make this long. Um, it's a scripture I'm looking for. That's it. There we go. That's the one I'm looking for. All right, so let's deal with these words about growing up and emulations. And what does that mean? And and one thing, and I was meditating on this real quickly before I cut this on, and there was different thoughts that are, like I said, Lord willingly, if the Spirit allowed, we'll touch on these different things. But let's do this first scripture. In fact, we just probably gonna deal with this chapter. This is Galatians 5, and I'm gonna start at 16, and it says, "This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary to one to the other, so that ye do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifested." Here's where we get to the point. These are all works of the flesh, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanliness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envying, murthers, drunkenness, raveling, and such of these which I tell you before, as I have also told you in times past, that which do such things shall not inherit them of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And what what does it mean to inherit the kingdom of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai? Of course, we know that that's a physical, that we're all here working, striving to prove ourselves worthy to enter into the kingdom of heaven physically. But you, but before you can physically inherit the kingdom of heaven, you have to spiritually inherit the kingdom of heaven, which starts with this knowledge, this word, is the kingdom of heaven, and these the spirit is of the Lord is pure, it's clean, it's righteous, and it cannot enter into a vessel that is that has this. Now, are we filthy vessels and so on and so forth? Absolutely, but these are things that cannot strive in the space of the spirit. That's why the scripture said that the flesh and the spirit war with each other, right? And the one thing that we're focusing on here is emulation. Now let's get this in. Let's see what it says there in the Greek. I'm not gonna make this too, but I just wanted to speak on this while it was on my spirit. All right, emulations, and in the Greek is Strong's G2205, and it looks like zelos, so like zealous, which it says excitement of mind, adore, fever of spirit, zeal, um, zeal in behalf of a person, of a thing, the fierceness of indignation, punitive zeal, and envious and contentious rivalry, jealousy, because it really does lead back to covetousness. Okay. Um, Now let's bear me 1 second. Let's go to the basic definition of emulation. And this is the etymology of emulation: effort to equal or excel in qualities or actions that one admires in another or others. Imitative rivalry. All right. So emulate, to strive to equal, excel in qualities or actions. Desire of equaling or excelling. Let's get the basic. Let's see what else the basic. The Bible speaks against emulations. That's what we just read about. Match or surpass a person of achievement, typically by imitation. And basically, so like when you think about an emulator, for brothers, hell, even sisters, if you play video games, they have emulators that they sell that has the software or the program of somebody ringing my doorbell. This is like I'm a little distracted. All right, some chat. We'll keep it moving. But a Dreamcast games on it, but it's not actually a Dreamcast. It's not actually a PS1 or PS or Nintendo DS. It's not actual things. It just has their games on it. All right. And for some people, man, these people be tripping, man. Slovakia. Um, and solicitors. Um, so nevertheless, dealing with this spirit of emulation, I was speaking to a brother and we were talking about. Let me get another scripture because the scripture speak. Let's get it. Let's go to Corinthians 13 and 11. And it reads, when I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. And when you're a child emulates the things that it sees around himself or herself. For instance, a son will look at his father and will do the things that his father does, from how he walks, how he laughs, how he reads, how he puts his hands in his pockets, don't put his hands in his pockets, hands behind his back, hands in front of him. All of these things, because a child is like a sponge. So when you come into this walk, it's the same energy. You know, you are a newborn babe. You are a child, and through the spirit, there's a level of you're looking at all the men that are around you. You know, from the apostles and elders, and you 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 can be amazed because these are in the spirit. These are great men, and this has nothing. This is why you'll see in the spirit sometimes the apostles will come down hard with that spirit on men of like, man, stop looking at us like we're fucking celebrities, man. We're just here teaching the word. We can't save you. They gotta and keep on pushing the spirit out because you are a newborn babe, desiring the sincere milk, as the scripture said. You will look at these men as we all have and all do, and you see things, great characteristics, traits, and so on and so forth, and that becomes you, right? And in a sense, that's in a righteous sense, that's the right thing. But you got to remember, you are growing up. You are being molded in the spirit to become your own manliness. Now, let me make sure I'm clear with my words, because this is not about you being around and well, I'm gonna go do my own motherfucking. I'm not speaking on that. I'm speaking on just to develop from a boy to a man. Simple as that. Same thing in the spirit. The Lord will sup with you. But you have teachers, and even after you get to a certain point, you have men of experience that are still there to be helping you on your journey. Concept to understand, but this watching the camera and looking at how other men are speaking and their experiences that they're speaking on, and you absorbing that and thinking that you're just gonna sit back and emulate this energy of another man in this walk. That's bullshit. That's not what that's childish. All right. If you've been in this walk and you got a good woman at home, and a woman is trying to do right by you, and she's loving on you, and she supports you, she helps you, she listens, she follows you. Why would you what makes why would a person why would a like but then you got certain men that do this. Why are you emulating another man's pain or struggle? You see what I'm saying? Like, there's a thin line between, hey, you hearing something and you understanding it and you accept it versus you absorbing that and you making that part of your personality, your person. And that's a problem. That's not supposed to be. You can't move like that. I'm gonna read these scriptures again. I don't gotta get a lot of scriptures. We said emulate. Now these are the works of the flesh manifested, and I'm gonna skip down, and the word that we're focusing in on here is emulations. You don't. That's another form of covetousness. Let's get that. What does the scripture say about being covetous? This is Exodus 20 and 17. And it says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor manservants, nor his maidservants, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Now let's look up that word covet. What does it mean to covet? Desire or wish for inordinarily or without regards for the right of others. Covet, desire, lust after. Some men covet for physical things. And then there's some men that covet the energy that's on you, the spirit that's on you, the way you walk, how you demand respect in a room, etc., etc. Now, is there a balance to all of this? Because there's an element where you see like, yo, hey, that man, I like how he's moving. Hey, man, hey, that's a solid dude. You esteem him, but you're not supposed to go home and practice. You know, matter of fact, man, I'm gonna look for something real quick. Like I said, this is on the spirit. This is spirit, but y'all remember this show? Y'all remember the show Doug Funny? Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Come on now. Let's. Oh man, come on. Whatever. But there's. Let me see. Hold on. Y'all remember this? Remember this show, Doug? So there was an episode on this show. That's Doug for those that aren't familiar. It was an old 90s cartoon, Nickelodeon. Doug, there was an episode where you had his best friend's little brother that was basically emulating Doug. Like how they all are here. They dressed like him. He spoke like him. He talked like him. If he laughed, he laughed. If he was mad, he was mad. He was emulating everything that he was doing. And I'm speaking through the spirit of, bro, at a certain point, you gotta that emulating other men in the spirit, man, that shit ain't right, man. To the extent of you're biased towards your bias towards your rebukes, you know. You're I'm trying to, like I said, through the spirit, it's like in a lot of senses, man. You know, the main thing I'm thinking about in the spirit or was talking about is like, you got a lot of men, you hear it is a man be 20 years old, 25 years old, and you're absorbing how the apostles and elders move and speak when it comes to women. You're not absorbing, you're not taking from it what they're saying to us of being smart, being wise. You're just, yeah, the nigga, you ain't even met that many nigga women in your life, black women in your life. You're just hearing what somebody else has said and you're parroting it. We're not here to be parrots. You heard some, hey, well, he said it, I'm gonna say it, right? That's what birds do. Birds don't think about what they're saying. They're only repeating what was said in front of them. And you don't want to be that, and that's what I'm speaking to. You don't want to emulate and take over another man's life to the point where like now you have a hatred for something because he hates it, or you ain't doing this because he said don't do it. Not in the senses of why wisdom. There's things that you listen to for wisdom's sake. I'm not speaking of those things. Apostle said a long time ago, hey, don't be going to these clubs and shit. That's wisdom. All right? But men will take their pain. Like that's what I'm really focusing in on. You'll take another man's pain and you'll make that your personality. And that's not a fruit of that's not a fruit of the spirit, man. That's not a fruit of the spirit. The Lord is dealing with all of us individually through the spirit. We are a company of men, but every man is going to make it according to his relationship with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So the Lord is all molding us and making us how he needs us. We are his servants. We are his servants bought with a price. How he wants you to be may not be the same way that he wants the next man to be. But we're all going to be here according to the spirit, man. So this has nothing to do with, we all here are to teach, push this word, serve the will of Yahweh. But we're all here to serve the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. As simple as that. All right. And you see that. You see it real bad in a lot of these camps. Because these men, they just look at a certain person and they like, yeah. People like that. So that's what I gotta do. I'm gonna be just like that. That's off. That's why I read that's covetous. That's really a covetous spirit. Emulation is another form of covetous. Because it's not, hey man, that's beautiful to the Lord, man. Hey, the Lord, you know, hey man, the beautiful the Lord did that for that brother. All praise Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I pray the Lord bless me that way. Nah, you be like, nah. Jake be, I'm not talking about Jake in per se in the truth, but just in the world. Nah. I need that. I need that woman. I need that car. I need them shoes, your shoes. That's wicked. Because you see the energy that he's portraying or pushing out. And instead of saying, hey man, I pray the Lord give me a portion of that in the spirit, man. I want to be smooth like that. Like when I look at, you know, my apostles and elders, for instance, when I look at Apostle Gabar, you know, I think, man, this is he's, you know, I was watching the comedy hype of Damon, I forget his last name, Watts, I forget his last name, but he was the gentleman that was on Sanford and Son. And I was like, man, you know, he moves just like Apostle Gabar. Like, I was like, man, they might be brothers in the spirit. You know, they move very similar to me in the spirit. And you know, in the spirit, I was like, man, you know, Apostle's such a cool, he just got a very, you know, the way he talks and carries himself, and, you know, it's very admirable. So, but, and, you know, so instead it's like, man, I pray the Lord make me be cool and calm and collected like the apostle. You know, that portion and how I carry myself. But I'm not like looking at him and over here, you know, practicing how he talks and how he, no, it's not about that. It's about looking at it and saying, man, this is how he's moving. That's something that's a good trait right there. I'm gonna try to be more like that in my own space. But I'm not trying to, you know, like Jake, man. Here it is. I'm gonna say it, man. Fuck it. Here it is, Jake. Some Jake. Don't get me wrong. It's the apostle, the car. You know, he wears. He him. Nobody can take that. No, he is like nobody else. He is like him. You know, and he got his cowboy hat and everything. The next thing you know, Jake. Yeah, now Jake wearing, you know, I'm not, and now it might be on your spirit. Don't get me, but sometimes it'd be like, bro, you was not on that 3 days ago. Like, what are you doing? Or it's like you're trying to take that man's light, like figure your own light in the spirit. That's all I'm really trying to say. And I feel like I don't want to seem like I'm rambling, but it's just, this is something that we all, as the scriptures say, and I'll close up here. It says, when I was a child, I spake as a child, and I understood as a child, and I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I even know as I am known. So again, it's about putting away, even in the spirit. You might be a 40-year-old man, but you've been in the spirit of this thing a year. So you're a 1-year-old, 2-year-old. As you evolve and grow and become a man in this, you got to put away certain things. You're becoming your own in this thing of ours. All of us Apostle Tahar is Apostle Tahar. Apostle Gabar is Apostle Gabar. Apostle, all the apostles and elders are they own individuals in the spirit. It's like I can't. It's like the Avengers. Iron Man is Iron Man. Iron Man's not trying to be Captain America. Captain America's not trying to be Hulk. Hulk's not trying to be, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Everybody is their own person. Pros and cons, strengths and weaknesses. So this isn't about, you know, hey man, I like how Superman gets this attention now. Now Batman over there wearing a fucking Superman outfit. Superman looking over him like, man, what the fuck are you doing, Bruce? Or Flash over there paying himself, not Flash, but like Thor want to be goddamn Ant-Man or something. So now Thor over here putting on Ant-Man suits and shit like that, man. That's weird. That's weird. That's why even the scriptures speak against that energy. The Lord perfectly made every man and woman in the way that he wanted them. So be the way that Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai meant for you to be in righteousness sake, in humility. All right? Hey, so with that, I'm going to close this up. I'm going to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honors unto my apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere Akim. That's I preach this word in truth and in all sincerity. Shalom.